What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of the Bad Boy Racing Garage. We are back from vacation. If you saw my second to last vlog, you saw that we went to a speed shop in Puerto Rico. We met the owner. We got 6 fittings that, well, I'm holding my phone with another hand, but we got 6 fittings that we needed for the fuel return system on my car. So what are we doing today? Well, actually, before that, we flew in through Philly, and what's in Philly? Import DPS. So instead of me coming home and then having to go next week, I stopped inside the store and I grabbed some, I'll show you guys right now. Got some Dash 10 AN, got 10 feet of it. Here's the part number if you need to get 10 feet of Dash 10 AN. So these are the 6 fittings that I needed to complete the fuel return system lines. So we got a Dash 10 AN 90, another Dash 10 AN 90. We got one Dash 10 AN flare with a Dash 12 AN O-ring, this is the one for the regulator. Here we have another one. So these two are for the regulator. They go from Dash 12 to Dash 10. This one is a Dash 10 straight. And then we got the 180, which is the one that goes on the top of the tank. So I'm gonna put each fitting on where it goes so I can show you guys what it looks like. All right, so the first one we're gonna do is a Dash 10 90. All right, so let me show you guys where this one is gonna go. This one is gonna come out of the fuel rail towards, well, I guess a spider came in here to visit. This one's gonna go on the fuel rail. From the fuel rail into the regulator. All right, so that goes there. To complete the other end of the hose that I just showed you guys, or the fitting, you're gonna need well, in my case, I needed, like I said, a Dash 12 to Dash 10 flare. So I'm gonna show you where that goes right now. For this one, it's gonna go right here. So we're gonna remove this cap. I'm not gonna tighten everything like super tight because I'm just fabricating lines right now. Obviously, I'm gonna hand tighten it as much as I can. All right, so this is gonna go from here to there. Let me go get the other fitting. Then we have a straight Dash 10 90 that's gonna go right here. I love AN fittings. I almost bought everything from Amazon, but I was like, what am I doing? That's not me. So I don't know if you guys can envision it, but all I need right now is a piece that goes from here into this. This is gonna be basically a 90-degree bend hose, the Dash 10. So that from the fuel rail to the regulator, that's done. All I need to do is make the hose, cut the hose to length, put it on these fitting, and that's done. Now we're gonna go from the regulator back into the tank. So for that, we're gonna need a Dash 10 flare to Dash 12 AN straight cut with the O-ring, which is basically, so anything that goes into the regulator has to be straight cut with an O-ring. You cannot put a flare into the regulator because that just doesn't work. So this is the part number for the 10 AN flare to Dash 12 O-ring. I call them ORBs. I call this side ORB. So that's the part number. This is the same size I used for the other side. And then here's the part number of the Dash 10 90 swivel, which, like I said, it's basically from the fuel rail to the regulator, and from the regulator, it's all the same. So like I said, I'm gonna take these back there. So same thing. Now I'm just gonna take the cap off of this one, and we're gonna put the Dash 12 O-ring that goes right here. Of course, I'm not sorry guys. This is where it goes. I'm not a lefty, so please bear with me. Tighten that as much as I can. All right, so if you notice, it's the same thing, just opposite. 90 to straight, and then straight. I mean, not straight. Sorry, there's no straight here. Don't mind what I said. You just follow what I'm doing. So here is the 90. If I can get it to go on there. Let me switch my camera. Okay. Maybe it should work better with my right hand. Okay, there we go. But we're gonna tighten it, but turn it this way. Sorry guys, I'm not a left-handed person, so. All right, so I'm just gonna turn it that way. So that's gonna go like that. Why am I having so much trouble with this right now? Okay, all right, I'm gonna just leave it like that. So that goes like that, and then, so like I said, -12 ORB to -10 male flare. Then it goes to 90, and now I'm gonna use a 180 to go into the tank. If you need the part number for the -10 AN 180 swivel hose end, 21810. These are not one hand friendly. So this one is gonna go on the tank. By the way, I put the front end on the car. I put the hood on it. That front end looks massive. Pause. So this is gonna go right here. There's some people have a straight fitting, but this bung or whatever it is, welded fitting, is usually on the other side. But I like this setup. It's really clean. So yeah, those are the fittings. Now we just have to cut the hose to length and put them on the fittings. That's it, guys. Look at that. Like I said, let me go over it one more time for you guys. This is a -10 ORB to -10 male flare on the fuel rail. Then you have a 90 -10 to a straight -10. And then to make this fit onto the regulator, you have a -12 O-ring, also known as ORB, -12 ORB to -10 male flare. Then at the bottom of the regulator, we have a -12 ORB to a -10 male flare. And then we have a 90-degree -10 hose end. And then you got the 180 on the fuel tank. Now, there's many different setups on these cars. There's some people, like I said, use this to your advantage. Basically, on the regulator, if you put it at the same place, the only thing that's gonna change might be some angle fittings, like on the tank. Like I said, some people have this would be on this side, so then obviously you would use a 45 or a straight. Try to use some common sense. Obviously, if you have the same kind of tank, same setup, then you're going to be able to use the same thing. Now, some people have that tank. They have a bigger tank over here. So that's going to be for another video. Because the only thing that would change from this tank to this tank would be the feed side. We're not there yet. But the return would basically be the same, for the exception that instead of that return line going that way, you can make the 90 look this way and then go back into the tank. Guys, if you have any questions, just let me know. I can answer them to the best of my abilities. And if I don't know the answer, I can find somebody that can help you out. No, you know, and nobody knows it all. Nobody's perfect. So if I know the answer, I'll gladly give it to you. If not, I'll try to find somebody that'll give you the answer. Let me tell you, once by me putting this hood and the bumper back on the car, my engine bay stayed clean for 4 days. And that's amazing. So, all right, guys, let me stop talking and we're going to start making the hoses. So, I'm going to take it out of the package. Yeah, start cutting. All right, guys, so I finally finished. It took me like 30 minutes. Made this line. It's really easy. If you guys want a video of me doing an actual line, let me know in the comments and I'll do it. But I figured there's a bunch of... The main thing with these is using a lot of WD-40 to, once you cut it, I like using blue tape because if you use black tape on this, well, you can't leave any tape, first of all. But if you use black tape, since it has a lot of adhesive, once you finish the cut and you pull the black tape out, it'll pull the braiding out. This has just enough to keep the threads together, but when you pull it off, it comes right off and it won't pull the threads. Anyways, the trick to cutting these is blue tape. What I do is I'll tape the entire area of where I'm thinking I'm gonna mark it. I'll mark it and then I'll cut it, and I'll have, obviously the cut's gonna be in between the area that's taped up. So like originally I was gonna use a 90 right here, and it was gonna be like, with the 90 it was gonna be straight and then into that, but I don't know, I felt like it was too tight, like not enough hose. So I ended up using the 45 that I had originally bought for my turbo return. By the way, I also did the return today. It came out so smooth. Smooth. I should not have any problems with that. Remember, the car is gonna be lower in the back. So I know it looks funny right there, but it'll work. So from the fuel rail to the regulator, that's done. And then you guys can appreciate how it did from the regulator to the tank. Perfect. That's very, very simple. Now, the only thing I have left to do is the feed side. And like I've been telling you guys, I've been struggling. But what I'm going to end up doing is just drilling the firewall because I don't see any other method. I can't put the filters directly on here because I don't have any space. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to find a spot on the firewall and put them on there. I really didn't want to because it's gonna look too cluttered there. But like I said, I think that's gonna be the best thing I can do. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the return system. I actually it worked out perfect because I ended up doing the fuel return system and the turbo return. So now the turbo is officially plumbed. I have the feed from the sandwich plate through this line, which I might end up changing because it's a little bit too long, but it'll work. And then, like I showed you guys, I did the return down there. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Let me know how you guys like it with the front end on. Let me close the hood for you guys real quick so you guys can see it. I'm probably gonna use this as the thumbnail, but this is what the car is looking like, guys. It's coming together. So that's it for today, guys. Quick short video of me showing you guys what fittings I needed for the fuel return system. Guys, always try to make whatever you're gonna do, make it very simple. You don't wanna do something that you're having a hard... If you're having a hard time putting it together, you're gonna have a hard time working on it at the track. And this is for a track car. Now, if you wanna go ahead and do something complicated and and I don't even know what word to use, but something complicated that you're probably never gonna take off in your car, that you're more than welcome to do that on your build. But on my case, I need something very simple. Like right now, if I was to want to take this car out, if I needed to take this motor out, literally all I gotta do is take off this fitting, pull this out, pull it to the side, put it behind this hood prop, and that's it. And then same thing for the feed side. It would be literally, I could either take that one fitting or this one, and the whole system comes out. Simple, guys. The faster you can, like, this isn't about making the car look, obviously to me this looks extremely clean, but more than just looking clean, it has to be practical. It has to be easily removable. Something happens at the track and we got to remove this entire swap out, we can do it in less than an hour. I'm figuratively speaking. Obviously, once taking out the motor is the easy part. After you take out the motor, you got to transfer all your parts to the other one if you don't have a complete long block. And even if you do, you still have to transfer over like cooling system, fuel system. It's a bunch of things. So that's why I'm saying as simple as possible, guys. That's the name of the game. As simple as possible. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Short video. Just like I said, it was literally just the return system that I was plumbing. You guys saw, I landed in Philly. The same 30 minutes later, I was at the speed shop getting the hose. And I ended up doing an extra hose. I ended up doing the return for the turbo. It worked out perfect. And I'm really happy with how it came out. Really, like extremely happy. So guys, if you made it to the end of this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button. Make sure when you subscribe, you hit the little bell, so every time Bad Boy Racing posts a video, you guys can go watch it. And then you never miss a step of the build. So like I said, vacation is over and we're back to work. Catch you guys on the next one.